It would seem to me as if old Humpty Dumpty put himself back together again. Old Humpty Dumpty. Hmm. If you attended my 2023 dark comedy titled Divorce Behavior, you would probably recall me telling the tale of Humpty Dumpty. You know the children's nursery rhyme. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. When you hear it, you realize that children would not resonate with the words, only the jingle, the hymn, so to speak. But adults, grown ups, men would resonate with the words, the deeper meaning, the open endedness of all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Really resonated with me based off of where I was at in my life during that time and how broken I was. Not just a broken heart, but a broken man. All the king's horses and all the king's men told me that nobody around you can put you back together again once broken, especially how broken I was. The open endedness makes you figure it out of only you can put yourself back together again. One of the darkest times of my 30s, I think 33, 34 years old at that time. But somehow, some way, I was able to start to put myself back together again. The children's rhyme didn't put me back together again. It was just the start of the long journey that was ahead of me. From there, it was actually another song that I'd heard countless times before, but never realized that it was speaking to me. Maybe because I wasn't in that book of life at the time to understand the words. I'll sing it to you. He says, I was reborn when I was broken. I wouldn't believe, no. Been through the storms, no use in hoping that you would come rescue me. Somehow your love set me free. And this is my favorite part. He says, and I can let my life pass me by, or I can get down and try. Work it on out this lifetime. Work it on out this time. I can let it all pass me by, or I can get down and try. Work it on out this lifetime. I often joke with my mother. I tell her, I say, baby, I call my mother baby. I say, baby, you just out here existing. You're out here living your life as if you're going to get a part two. You're living your movie as if you're going to get a sequel to this. We funeralize you and then we pour the dirt over you and dusk comes, then dawn, and all of a sudden, voila, you're back. And that's not how it goes. It's never how it's been. For all we know, this is all we know. So if this is all we know, what are you going to do with this life that you have? How are you going to fill in the blanks? I had to ask myself that question when I was rock bottom. What am I going to do? I've done some things, but now what am I going to do? I'm rock bottom, I'm broken, I'm putting myself together again, but what are you gonna do? I joke with my mother about it, but I had to really ask myself that question, and now essentially I'm asking you. Rhetorical, but I demand an answer, and it doesn't have to be directly to me, but what are you gonna do? I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I chose to do, even in the midst of turmoil and heartbreak and all those nasty words that we don't want to use, depressed, sad, all those things. 6 letters, 2 words. A homonym is what they call it, even though it's 2 words, more compounded. But you want to know the word? I'll tell you the word. Some people don't like the word, but it's necessary when you're looking to change your life. Fuck it. That's the word. That's the homonym. Fuck it. It's a double-edged sword. It can be used 2 different ways. Fuck it can be glass half empty or glass half full. Which fuck it are you going to choose? When you're rock bottom like I was, you can choose to say fuck it and sit in your shit. Not try to move, not try to do anything. When you're rock bottom, the only way to go is up. But when you look up and you see the light is so far away that it looks impossible to climb, and there is no ladder. There's no ladder to success, as they say. There's no ladder to that light. So you can say fuck it. And you sit in your shit, and that's your dwelling. You will live and you will die there. That's glass half empty. Fuck it. Or you could do what I did. Glass half full. Fuck it. Now the glass half full. Fuck it is you looking up and you seeing that impossible light, and you seeing there is no ladder. And you just say fuck it. And you get to climbing and you figure it out. And before you know it, that light is not as far as you thought it was. So for me, I thought about different books to write. At that time, I had 2. It's like, 5 more. But I don't know. Fuck it. Another time, I put together a rap album. I am not a rapper, not in any stretch of the imagination. And I told myself this, but I would cut myself off and say, fuck it. I wanted to do a short film, a feature film. And I never had done a film before. And I told myself, fuck it. And I self-funded it all by myself. I sold a company. I've climbed the mountains and sing the songs that I wanted to sing, all because I decided to just say, fuck it. And that was the life-changing homonym that worked for me. But it goes 2 different ways. It does not always have to be up. Fuck it can also be down. It's really all up to you and your mindset. Oftentimes laugh with my female friend, and she talks about my accolades and my accomplishments. And she says, all these things that you're doing, all these things that you have, it would be a shame if you had no one to share it with. I always chuckle at that comment because I look at my life and I look at the things around me, more so the people. But there's one person that stands out above anyone else. And sometimes I have to look down or around, or I have to get quiet and listen for him. But Ace Clark is the individual that I will share all of this with. It doesn't have to be a love interest or a companion of that nature. He has my blood, my DNA, my last name, and it runs clean through him. And if I'm going to share it with anybody, it's going to be him. That fear that people look to throw on you, the fear of being alone, the fear of being lonely. Are you sure you want to be alone? It's quite lonely out there. Are you sure that you want to be by yourself? Most people don't like being by themselves. Some of the greatest things I've ever accomplished in my 30s came into fruition when I was by myself. as I stop and look around this very theater, I am by myself. I rehearsed this kinda by myself a couple of nights ago. When I wrote my books, I was by myself. Dark Comedy Special, rehearsed and performed by myself. Now, don't get it wrong. I've had some great people in my life help me out. But when it comes down to executing and getting things done, most of the time it is by myself. So the fear of being by myself does not bother me in the slightest. I appreciate my female friend for her concern about me, but she can keep her fears to herself. I don't fear being alone, and never will I. When I think of being alone, as she puts it, being lonely, the fear of that doesn't concern me in the slightest. In fact, I'll end it here. I just thought about something. Shout out to Inglewood, California, my man Sean Christopher. Somebody let him know that I cited his work. Sean Chris once said, if you feel like you're alone too, then you understand this shit. In life, you have to believe in what you believe in and go get your dream when no one else thinks that shit gonna come true, because at the end of the day, the only person that will be there for you will be you, and only you. Oh, Humpty Dumpty, let's put himself back together again. Happy birthday to me.